What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast. With you always, John Kelly, along with my good friend Jeremiah Stringer. And we are brought to you by Outdoor Vitals, makers of Performance First ultralight gear.
What up, man?
How's it going?
Actually, it's going great. Excuse me, I got a quick word from our sponsor. I just went on a trip with our guest tonight, and I absolutely loved using their 0 degree Outdoor Vitals Storm Loft down top quilt. A few weeks ago, we talked about their sleeping bags, their Storm Loft, but I'm a big proponent of the quilt. Held up fantastic for me. It's got straps so you can use it with a pad too if you want it. I used it in a hammock, and later in the show I'm sure you'll get to hear about this, but Jason showed me a little trick to use with the D-rings on my underquilt too. But nice. I stayed snug as a bug in my 0 degree under and 0 degree top quilt. If you want to check it out, you can go to outdoorvitals.com and click on their Storm Loft down top quilts as well as their sleeping bags. And if you want a discount, sign up for their membership, Live Ultralight membership, and I 100% guarantee you'll get a discount on that quilt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I 100% agree with you. And I think it's got one of the best foot boxes as far as sewed-in foot boxes that are in the market. There's lots of room for your feet, but it's just tight enough to keep them warm.
Yeah, and I'll say one other thing. They have it in 0, 15 degree, 30 degree, and 40 degree Fahrenheit. So whatever strikes your fancy there for the environment that you're headed out in. I went with the 0, but that was just the trip, in particular that I was hitting.
And if you're listening right now and you're from Canada or anywhere else other than the U.S. and you use Celsius, you can leave a comment so everybody understands what those are, because we are Americans and we don't know any better. So with that said, we got a great show tonight, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. I think before we bring in our guest, because when he gets here, all attention needs to go to him, period. I think we need to give the results of our Final Four for shoes poll that we did last week. We started, I'll go ahead and bring that graphic up so people can see it.
Last week we had Solomon versus Brooks, Hoka versus Topo, La Sportiva versus Ultra, and Scarpa versus Merrill. And our Final Four is Solomon versus Topo and Ultra versus Merrill. So let us know.
So definitely get your votes in.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what your favorite is. Solomon, should it beat Topo? And Ultra, should it beat Merrill? If you're on Spotify, you can comment on there. YouTube, you can comment. And also, I don't know how to do a live poll on YouTube while we're doing the live stream. So if you know, I would love for you to comment that too, and maybe you can teach us a thing about on-air producing.
And just as a heads up, make sure you understand that you're talking about Solomon versus Topo, which one of those two wins, and Ultra versus Merrill. If you say Ultra and Merrill, you automatically screwed up everything. So they're in the same bracket. They get, but one of them wins, one of them loses. So make sure you get your votes in for those. You're going to do 2 votes, 1 for each game that's going on. Now, up next is a guy who right now is a walking miracle. A year ago, he destroyed his ankle. And when I say destroyed, I mean, folks, it was disgusting. Like, it looked like he was growing an alien on the side of his leg. And the fact that he's up and hiking is one thing, but the fact that this past weekend he went out and did the 40-mile John Muir Trail in Tennessee is a completely other thing. We couldn't be more excited to have in our good friend. You all know him. You all love him. We also know him as Dad, and that's Backpacking with Dad. Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir. What's going on, man?
The Dad, Backpacking with Dad. I get it.
It was so tempting to wear that shirt. It was so tempting to wear that shirt tonight, the Backpacking with Dad shirt. Oh, look at Jeremiah's shirt.
I had to wear my daddy shirt. Yeah. Promoted to Daddy.
That's
2024. Yeah, man. What about it, dude? You just arriving back home. I don't know if you could tell, but my face is sunburnt. I got home. Bridget's like, your face is red. Yeah, you look like actually tan, though. I look like, just bright red.
You look like a ginger who was in the sun. That's what you look like.
Yeah, I was out there for a day. Jason was out there for like 5 days. I'm sure that we'll go through a bunch of the stories and stuff, but Yeah, what do you think, man? You've been down exploring a little bit in Tennessee, huh?
Yes, it was 8 months ago around that where I had my surgery. And I've been backpacking, at the meetup, we was all there together, so I've done some hiking and everything, but I needed to get myself out there and do a multiple day hike and really test my leg, do some up, downs, do 10 mile, 12 mile days, you know, get into the groove. So I was going to do the John Muir section. It's a 53-mile hike, but I took precautions and cut it a little short there just in case on there because I didn't want to, I didn't know how it was going to feel, how it was going to turn out. But what an incredible area. Tennessee is always so beautiful. I'm sure you guys can confirm to that
Oh yeah.
on
Yeah, I've
there.
hiked several
Yeah,
miles of that
just
trail.
yes. And there's the Rock Creek section. You're in the creeks areas and it's just so beautiful and the water was just running hard, and I always have a saying, if it's above your knee, just don't do it, because it might whip you away, drown you. It's just not worth it, so if the water's going above your knees, never go in the water. Don't try to cross that creek, river, whatever. So it was really close. I mean, it was on my shins. And so, we went through it and everything, and it's just a beautiful area in the Big South Fork,
Now,
Rock Creek area.
I have to say something, Jason. I'm impressed because maybe it was a year or two ago. You looked at me and you said, "Man, I don't know if I'm going to do 10 or 12-mile days anymore." You were just like, "I don't
Well,
think I'm going to do those anymore." And then you hurt your ankle, and it's like, you know what? I want to do 10 or 12-mile days now.
yes. Uh, you know what? There's a lot of people who could do 41 miles and probably overnighter. They
Right,
do it in the
right.
weekend on there. But I was wanting to see, have the sights and sounds and see everything. I didn't want to miss anything. And I had buddies coming in. I had Matt, a buddy of mine, Matt, and Dot's cousin Buddy to join me on Wednesday. Buddy had to leave Thursday morning. Matt stayed with me till Friday. Matt left. I hooked up with Sean and Scott for Friday. Then the next morning, I luckily found Jeremiah in there just out of a coincidence for Saturday. And then we all walked out Sunday. And I was like, man, I'm blessed to have this many people to go backpacking with and to have fun, see the Tennessee, those mountains. Big South Fork gives you the creek, a mountain, a creek, a mountain,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
up,
yeah.
down, go, it's just so much fun out there. And I mean, to be honest, I didn't see anybody else until Friday afternoon. Wednesday, nobody. Thursday, nobody. But it was pretty crappy weather, but and a Wednesday and Thursday. But I didn't see anybody. Then of course the weekend was beautiful, and then everybody came out and see a lot more. But just an incredible area. The river, everything about the Big South Fork.
Well, and you mentioned something there with all the creek crossings that you do in that area. Man, it can flood so easy. It's amazing how easy
Yes,
it can flood down there, and you're right, you've gotta be very careful with that running water that you don't get in there and get yourself swept away or get hurt. So,
yes,
that's like, there's something about that area. I've hiked through it several times, and 2 of the 3 times I've hiked through it, rain and flooded and, like, crazy high waters. Even when we were doing the Sheltowee down there, and yes, I mentioned the Sheltowee, gotta get one of those in. That or the Long Trail has to get mentioned. But it was crazy. We actually had to take an alternate trail because there was so much flooding in the waters. We couldn't even go through a lot of
yes,
sections. So it just happens sometimes down there. You got to be careful. And
yes.
here's a great
And
question
remember,
because we talked about your trip while you were gone. Did you know this?
yes,
Okay.
no,
Oh, we talked about your
No.
trip, and there was a big question that was going on that people wanted to know, and that was what was Jeremiah going to bring as far as food? And Brian Winterburn is bringing that up right now. So, Jeremiah, what did you bring as a treat for your friends?
Well,
I
I
know
ended
this
up
one.
bringing multiple things, but I think
Ooh.
the biggest reward was at the end of the trip. I had the truck at the final leaving location without me, which meant I had ultimate leverage too, by the way. Because, yeah, imagine you're on a trip and somebody says, "No, I don't want to do this, don't want to do that," and you say, "Well, I have leverage. How are you going to get back to your vehicle once this trip is done?" So I brought the Yeti, left some cold drinks in it, so I think everybody had pretty much everything they wanted there for whenever they left. And then on the trip, Decided to go simple with the dessert. Jason, they were trying to convince me to make Oreo balls.
Did you make?
I know you remember.
Did you bring Mountain House for everybody, Jeremiah? Ben
I
McMillan's
don't think.
wondering.
No, 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 no. My
But
buddy
I got
Sean did, of all people. He did. He didn't eat it, but it was in his bag, and I saw it. I was like, we're getting ready to use his kindling, but we didn't. But
what
Jeremiah,
a
go back to your treats.
well, I'll just say real quick, Sean, what a spectrum of food. His carnivore diet.
Yes.
So, and we talked about this on the show. So, for him to be breaking out a Mountain House after eating like like high quality cuts of meat all week,
High
and
quality.
yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing with the Mountain House? But I digress. Anyway, I said, what am I going to take? And I finally settled on not the Oreo balls. It was way too much work. And it was Friday at the time that I was getting my food ready. And I was leaving I had to get up at like 5 a.m. the next morning. So this is Friday afternoon. So I had my wife to get one of the big Ghirardelli chocolate bars that has caramel inside. I can't remember if it's milk or dark chocolate. But we passed that around.
Delicious.
I don't know if Sean ate any because he's carnivore, but I
Yes,
think
he
he might
did.
have square or two.
Yeah. He ate it.
And then I also had brought a Red Bull for Scott, but he had brought his own Red Bull, and I guess where he's only going for 2 nights, but I thought he's going out there for multiple nights. So I ended up having the first Red Bull in at least 10 years. I mean, I don't really drink energy drinks. I'm more of a coffee guy, but got to sit down there for lunch and pop a cold Red Bull with my good buddy Blue Star.
That's great, man. That is great. Hey, we got a few comments here. We got to get on the screen real quick. So let's see what we got going on here. First comment of the night: are Monday streams back? Jeremiah, do you want to tackle the answer for this one? Because it's layered.
Yeah, sure. It is layered. We are doing a stream right now, Monday. But right now, our schedule is tentatively Wednesdays at 4-ish Eastern Standard Time. And John and I had done multiple seasons of the Monday night at 8 streams. We both like them, but also we recently had a baby. And
well, Jeremiah and I didn't have a baby. That would be weird. Jeremiah and Bridget had a baby. I did not have a baby with Jeremiah. I just want to make sure we get that. We are podcast fluid. So
yeah.
Just leave it. I'm leaving it there. I'm leaving it there.
So my wife, she started putting the baby monitor on my side of the bed. I don't remember if I told you this, John, or not. And that means that I try to get in bed about 8:30 every night. I feel like I'm 100 years old. I try, bro.
Can you not carry the baby monitor with you into a living room or something? I mean, it's the 21st century. Like, our baby monitors, we could carry them all over the house.
I have to go to bed just because the baby goes to bed. I'm pretty sure you don't have to do that. I mean, I know you're new at this and everything, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to go to bed because the baby went to bed.
Well, I try to go to sleep at 9. So if I wake up at 6, then I have 9 hours of sleep.
What in the world? Who gets 9 hours of sleep?
He's older than me.
Holy cow. Do you eat dinner at 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Well, we already ate dinner.
We're going to start calling your house the Stringer retirement home.
Oh my goodness. He's got a rocking chair out front, and he sits there till he stay out of his yard. You can see him out there.
He's that guy that walks around. He's the guy that walks around church and gives candies to all the little kids.
Yeah, and a quarter.
And a quarter. Yeah, quarter. That's right. There it is.
I got hard candy in my pocket right now, boys. I'm telling you. No, I do try to start cooking dinner around 4:30, 4:45 if I can. But most days I can't. But yeah, anyway, like John said, it's layered. And I think that it gives John more time at home too, because
Yeah.
you put your kids to bed. He's got, how old are your kids now?
7 and 8.
7 and 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little behind the scenes. John, his kids need to go down too. And so I don't know. It's working okay right now. We're trying it out.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's no secret. I work at a church, and I spend 2 or 3 nights a week doing programs at the church on top of that. So that means less and less time for my family. So being able to do something in the afternoon, that really just helps out so that there's more time for us to spend with our kids and our wives. And they seem to like it when we do that. So we're trying to balance that a little bit better than probably we have in the past.
4 o'clock.
Also, my kids, since we're talking about our kids and stuff, I got them fishing rods for this summer. And so we had them out in the backyard practicing with their rods, put little plastic fish on the end so they could just shoot them across the yard and practice reeling in and all that kind of stuff. And I go inside for less than 30 seconds and I hear, "Dad, it's stuck." And I go outside and we've got these string lights in our backyard, and somehow my son has cast over the string lights and almost 20 feet up into a tree. And that normally wouldn't be a big deal. We could just give it a little tug and kind of pull it out. No, he did it and then automatically pulled as hard as he could and jammed that little plastic fish so hard between 2 branches, it won't move.
Oh,
30 seconds, man. 30 seconds. My son is an impressive young man with the things that he can pull off in a very short. Another reason I need to be around him at night. I can't be away too long. I got to teach this boy how to cast his rod better. So, okay, back to the comments. Sorry about that. John Groover says, "Good evening, John and Jeremiah." Mr. Groover,
hello,
it's good
John.
to see you. Derwin Off the Rails is on here. He said they just got back from hiking Springer to Neal Gap on the AT and already missing the woods. I saw some of the video footage and photos from that on Instagram. Looks like they had a really good time out there. Ben McMillan.
Section.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Ben McMillan was curious why in our Final Four competition there were no Crocs.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I didn't even think about that. Jeff Garmeyer wouldn't like that we didn't include Crocs. Also, I think you spelled Crocs wrong. Ben must not wear Crocs.
Yeah, there's no there's no K, is there? It's just
I don't think there's
CROC.
any. Yeah,
CROC. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
We got a couple super chats. We got one from Andy Ackerman. It says, "Feeling blue today, gents." I think we somehow color coordinated today. If you're listening, you can't see it, but if you're online, DUKE. DUKE.
Woo, buddy.
Do I have a boo button on here? I don't think.
Have you ever noticed you can't spell Duke without UK? All right, and then we got one more super chat, and this one's from Derwin Off the Rails. Said, "Missed y'all. We did a trip last week to Springer to Neal Gap. It was amazing. It was as amazing as everyone said it would be. Planning to head down to the BFS as the next adventure. Glad to see all 3 of your faces." I'm not sure what the BFS is. Is he maybe Big South Fork? And it's not the Big Four South.
No, Big South Fork.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was something different. That's what I was curious about, was if that was something different.
Derwin, I left you a comment. Hit me up. Try to do something.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's any questions about the Big South Fork or the section I did, it's pretty much a John Muir section. He did one in Tennessee and made it. If you have any questions in the comment, I'll be happy to answer any that I can, especially the sections I've done. And if I haven't done them, Jeremiah has.
I love Ben McMillan's most recent comment. "I do know where So he also do know proper grammar. So, and it is Big South Fork. He meant to put BSF. So, okay, hold on. There's a comment on here. It's from All Things Outdoors that says Caraxus is the Timu version of Hey Dudes.
Jeremy.
Oh man, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
What were you going to say, Jess?
I was just going to say Ben McMillan is so funny. I mean, that dude, he has some of the TikToks that just make me laugh. And I see him do little videos and everything. And plus, we've been on, I think, 3, maybe 4 trips with Ben. And he's just a hilarious, funny man.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Well, this past week, they do a Wednesday night podcast live stream
Yes.
thing, and
Yeah.
the other night I wasn't able to get on till almost 10 minutes left in it, and the next thing I know, I get on there and say, "Hey, sorry, I almost missed the show," and then Ben goes, "Oh, we're gonna go long. Get on now." He says it live, sends the link, and so I got to jump on and talk to Miyagi and Trips and
Nice.
Chad and all those
Yeah.
guys. And let me
Was
tell you,
Buckley on
man,
there?
here's the thing. I want to talk about Trips for a second. For those who don't know
Yes.
Trips, she went through a
Love
really
her.
rough battle with cancer, and
Yeah.
she looks beautiful. She looks absolutely beautiful now. Her hair's grown back out. She looks incredible, and it was exciting to see the two of them on there. And I think they just did a trip on the Superior. Was it the Superior Hiking Trail? Or the Ice? I think it was the Ice Age Trail. They just did a
Remember
section
when
of
we
the
did
Ice Age
pictured
Trail.
rocks with them?
Oh yeah,
I seen pictures of that not too long ago. I was like, oh yeah, Trip. There's a bunch of us on that.
yeah,
But Trips and Miyagi are the best, man. The best.
yep. They are
Is
awesome.
is that a corgi?
I am so sorry. Lucy
that's
is
okay.
waging war. She is waging war outside, right out here into the
Well,
backyard. She's at the
we,
fence, and she's, the
That's no
Maple's
problem.
next door. A little dog Maple, and Lucy's like, yo, 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 what's going on? And Maple hollers back, Lucy, Lucy, Lucy.
can
How
I
the little
tell
dogs do. You
so
can tell
Miss
about Lucy.
Mrs. Backpacking with Jason and Mr. Backpacking with Jason. Bridget and I went over and visited with them. We went out to dinner and stuff. And I got to tell you, they have this little corgi named Lucy and this big old dog. That's Jason's dog. But right now we're talking about Lucy. Lucy, I can't remember if I said this on here. I think I might have the fattest dog I've ever seen. She's like just a big ball of sweet
She's
fat.
fluffy. She's
Sweet
fluffy.
fat.
Yeah,
She's
she's a
fluffy.
sweetheart.
I
She's
just
a
want to say
sweetheart.
the phrase a big ball of sweet fat just sounds like
Yes.
a pig that I want to eat. Like it doesn't sound like a dog.
She's so cute and lovable. And fat.
Oh man.
Yes. Yeah, she's like 45 pounds, and she got legs about this tall.
Oh yeah,
She's a
corgis.
corgi.
Yep.
She got no
12 inches
tail
long.
either.
Yep.
Have
Oh,
you
we
ever
got some
seen a corgi?
we got some great
It's got
comments
like a
on here.
split tail.
Oh yeah, split tail?
Yeah, it doesn't have a tail. It's split tail, and it's like the original. It's an original corgi. That's why corgis are made split tail.
Really?
And yes, so when she walks, it's funny looking because like that butt going back and forth. She looks like a cartoon character or something. And she's so fat, she got fat legs. And I'll be like, "You hungry? You hungry, Lucy?" She'll be like, "Oh, I'm hungry." And I'll go get her food. She runs. She
You
can't
know,
help but fat
Jason.
streaker.
Jason. I get like that on trail. Like I start doing my waddle, and Jason looks at me and goes, "You hungry?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
You
Jason, I'm
hungry?
hungry."
I throw you some jerky, some beef jerky.
Thanks,
Keep
Daddy.
'em going. It's
So,
Dad.
Ben McMillan he was talking to you, Jason, on here, and mentioned you said how
Yes.
funny he is. He said you forgot good looking.
No, I didn't.
Oh, and modest.
Jason's like, no, I didn't. Well, I will say,
I
Devin
didn't
did say you are good looking, Ben, and with a little kissy face.
Ah,
So, and then also Derwin off the
Devin's
rail said,
awesome.
Ben, I got my new food bag on the trail and had a ton of people comment on it. I bragged a lot about you. Yeah, if you've
Awesome.
ever gotten one of those bags from Ben, if you've ever ordered from Hilltop Packs, that's some high quality stuff right there.
Yeah.
High quality stuff. Okay, so let's get back on the trail for a little bit here.
Yes.
Yeah, John,
I
was
want to
gonna tell-
know. I want to know. I want to know what
Yeah.
Jason had to eat the first night, because if there's one thing we know about Jason and backpacking, the first night is always real food.
So I had food that I was going to take, right? You're going to be out there a long time.
Are you about to like disappoint me?
Not at all, my
Oh,
friend.
okay, good.
No,
You
not
had
at
me
all.
nervous for a second.
I
was nervous.
I call him my cousin, but it's Dot's cousin. Dot and I have been together 13 years, so he's kind of like my cousin too. So cousin Buddy is going to say, "Hey, I want to jump on the trail with you for a day." Matt was coming. This dude cooked 3 pounds of fajita chicken. He brought the tortillas that's cone shaped, so you just stuff it. He brought cheese, tomatoes, peppers, salsa, everything. So we was stuffing them as tight as we could, big old fat tortillas, and chowing down. Matt had two, I had two. Are you surprised Matt got some food, Jeremiah, off of Buddy?
Oh, bro.
That's
Just
awesome.
teasing.
When I
That's
pulled
Yeah,
a
awesome.
so
piece,
we
when I pulled a piece of
go.
steak from Sean, he said, "You mad at me." Yeah, you got me with
You mad,
the
Matt?
grab
But
claw.
yes, Matt could eat some food with us. Yeah, the food was spectacular that first night. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a backpacking meal company that I have found called Big Horn. If comment section, has anybody ever heard of that? Please, because I haven't never talked to anybody else that's really had it. That food was delicious. They have something like butter curry, the best butter chicken curry.
Ooh.
Oh, it's good.
Who is this?
Is
It's
that one I
good,
tried?
good. Bighorn, like one word, Bighorn. They don't have
And
many meals.
which meal was
What?
it that you cooked that you let us try on Saturday night?
I think that one was
Is it Bighorn Mountain Food?
yes. I can't remember, Jeremiah. It might have been the Bighorn too. I brought two bags of it. Is either that or that Pinnacle. Pinnacle has one with roasted chicken with cheddar biscuits with corn and green beans. I mean, that is top notch too.
All
But that
right.
Bighorn is delicious. You
Hold
got
up.
it?
I do, but I've got to get it. I've got to get it to where it shows up on the screen here. Let me see if I can get. There it is.
There it is. That
Is
is
this it right
it.
here?
Yeah, and on the bottom of the bag, it'll say "Headbutt your hunger." That's a man's food right there. You tell me that's a man's food. Headbutt your hunger. So it says 2 servings, but it's only 700 calories. So, take that as you will. I mean, I could always eat it, a whole bag, and it is so good, man. I mean, 5 out of 5 with that. And
It
I want
considers
to
itself
order,
a reward that you earn at the end of a long day.
yeah, because it's gourmet. It's not like crap or anything. It's going to taste good. So you got to pay a little bit for it because,
Yeah.
but it is a good meal at the end of the day that doesn't weigh that much. You just got to add some hot water, wait 15 minutes and chow.
I think it's
So,
hilarious that these companies will put out these meals and actually think that somebody's going to eat half of it.
Oh
some
yeah.
of those meals are pretty big, like Peak's biscuit and gravy. I mean, that was pretty big. And
I still eat the whole
uh,
thing though, if I'm being honest. I'll still eat the whole thing by
that's
myself.
it's like 1,100 calories. That's a tough one to start out with for the day.
No, that's what you end the day with.
Yeah,
Biscuits and
good
gravy
idea.
for
Oh,
dinner.
heck yeah, man. Breakfast for dinner's the best, in my opinion.
Yes.
Well,
And carrying a lot of food, where you're going to do 5 days, uh, I was going to be like, man, I need to just do like a pound or pound and a half a day. I'm going to have to really because it's a lot of weight. So my buddy Matt was going to leave on Friday. Where I had to go, I could go right up to a parking lot. So I stashed a lot of food in his truck, like extra battery charger, extra food, stuff like that. And it helped me out, weight wise, because I was staying around 25 pounds on my backpack,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get too much heavier than that when you're going to do 10, 12 mile days. I don't know how everybody else goes, but I try to
Yeah.
keep it 25 pounds or so. And that's with me carrying a chair and, a battery charger and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And I put the website down there at the bottom for people that are interested in looking those up. We are not sponsored. We didn't even know about these guys until now. But if you want to check them out, there's a place where you can check those out. So
Yeah, I'm going
bighornmf.com, which doesn't
yeah.
stand for mother, you know what? It stands for mountain food. So
It is a great meal that I had, and I'm going to give them a big shout out. I never got anything either. I was just on there looking for different meals, something different besides Peak Refuel or something like that. And I tried Backpacker's Pantry, not so much. I
yeah.
didn't care for that one too much.
Well, big butter chicken's huge in Canada, oddly enough. Like
Yeah,
that's a big meal up in Canada. Who was it? Backcountry
it's got
Forward.
like marinara in it. It's got like
Yeah.
Parmesan and marinara in it, and rice and chicken. And the chicken's big chunks. It's good. What'd you think of that? I'm pretty sure I gave you a bite of that.
yeah, it had some
I
kick.
could be wrong.
I thought it was amazing. It was better than a lot of the meals that I've tried for the freeze dried. Yeah, I think you done a pretty good job. Maybe let it rehydrate just a tiny smidge longer.
Yes, yes, yes. Any
I'll
This is
other
give it
funny.
questions about my cooking? Uh-huh.
I say
Here's
8.2.
here's a great comment.
8.2.
Here's a great comment.
Mhm.
We were talking about the how much you eat, and Chicken Little Trek says, "Don't you know? After the end of the day, we're eating for two, one for me and one for my pride."
That's right.
Amen to that.
That's the
Can I
truth.
tell you a funny story that happened out on Big South Fork?
Absolutely, man.
So it was the Saturday. Jeremiah had to hike 3 miles to meet us, and
Mhm.
it was pretty tricky that he met us. But me and Jeremiah, Scott, Sean, we're hiking along. So we get to this spot that has signs, go here, go here, go here. And we was like, it's just 1.2 to where we're going to camp. We was like, man, this is going to be awesome. We start walking. We even stopped, have a lunch at this water hole. And I was like, this is interesting. I was like, I didn't think water would be this close. And we eat lunch and everything, and we take off hiking. I look back at my phone. I have the Far Out app for Shelatoe. So it says 1.2. It says 2.2. I said, Jeremiah, we're going the wrong way on Shelatoe. And it was all downhill. We went a mile downhill, and we should have been going to the Vista.
Oh, so you had to go back
So
uphill a mile.
uphill a mile. My buddies, they
Oh
was
man.
like, you know, so yeah, so we had to go uphill a mile back. So that's a 2 mile out of the loop, where we're just a mile from camp. And me and Jeremiah was like trying to be super positive, like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, boys. We're just still hiking along, it's gonna be fine and everything. And I told him, I said, y'all should thank me. I said, I can't believe y'all not thanking me, for telling us, we could have been at Bandy Creek, and spending the night there.
Well, not
And
only
they're like,
that, but you
thank
guys,
you. You
they
got
should
us
thank you for
lost.
seeing an extra mile of trail. Like you got to see an extra mile
That's
of trail you wouldn't have
exactly.
seen. So I mean, they should thank
Yeah.
you for the extra views that they got because of that.
Well,
We
I
had to
lived through this
backtrack.
too.
We had to backtrack to a camp that
Jeremiah,
we talked
I
to.
lived through this. I lived through
Yeah,
this.
I
Yes,
lived
he
through.
did.
Well, I have something to add here. Um,
Yes.
there's a couple things that Jason's not telling you here that I think that'll add to this story. First of
Oh
all,
no, what?
um, he did mention I'd hike 3 miles. Hey, what up, Woodall Trails?
What's up, man?
Um,
Hey,
I'd
Jonathan.
hike I hiked 3 miles to meet with them, and serendipitously ran into Jason as he was walking out of his unmarked campsite and just bumped into him. And
Yep.
we hiked along and we took this wrong turn. But before that, so we ran into this group of people and we were looking for a place for lunch, and they were at a trail junction, and it was a whole like family with cousins and everything. I don't know. It's like a bunch of kids, all different ages. And we talked to them for, 30 seconds, a minute. And they said, oh, we're going here for the night. And they were going on the Shelatoe, the opposite direction as us. And so we got to
Yep.
this next junction, and we didn't see those people. Right? We left them. They were sitting at a junction taking a break. They all look exhausted. And we make it to the next junction. We take our turn on the Sheltoe, and those people are behind us somewhere, but they were taking a break at the time. And we keep walking, and we hit this spot for lunch, and everybody is totally dry on water. We haven't seen any water the entire day for like 8 miles straight. So
Which
we're all
that's
needing.
crazy for that area because usually there's water everywhere.
Yeah, some
Well, we were on
seepy
the
stuff,
ridge.
but we was kind of looking for a creek.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
we looking for like something nicer.
yeah.
So so we keep walking, and I've done both all these sections of trail I've done in the past, but it might have been 5 years. So you just forget.
Mhm.
And so we walked the wrong direction, obviously, but I didn't know it at the time. And I'm seeing this water. We stopped for lunch, and I was like, man, I just did not think we'd have water till we reached the campsite. And then we sit there for 30 minutes to an hour, have our lunch, I drink my Red Bull, and then whenever we get ready to hike again, we make it like a couple hundred yards, and I've had my Red Bull and I'm yelling, get out the way, boys. I got wings. So I take off down the trail, just
Yeah.
hoofing it, bro. I'm hiking 4 or 5 miles an hour. And then these guys are just trying to keep up. And then we hike for a bit. And then that's when Jason says, I think my app is broken or something. I don't know. It's just from the
We're
get.
going
And I said,
farther away.
Uh-huh.
hold on, let me check this too. And I said, wait a second. I kept telling Sean, I don't remember there being any water on this section. And we just keep walking through this water. And there were so many red flags. Well, we backtrack, right? So Sean's buddies are pretty defeated. And I tell them, first of all, I got up this morning at like 5 and I hiked 3 miles before I even up with you guys. And it's only a mile backtrack back to where we were so we can go in the right direction. And they say, no, you don't understand. You're 20 years younger than us. And we've been out here for multiple days carrying these backpacks. So we turn around and we start backward. Well, we got passed on the way in by this big group of people, and they set up camp past where we ate lunch at. So we actually passed them as they were setting up their camp, just zoomed on by, didn't say anything. So one of Jason's buddies, I mean, the pride was hurting. He's like, don't tell me we got to walk back past those people. Like, right on the trail, baby. I mean, both sides of the trail they were on camping, and we had to walk right back to the camp. I never got to ask Jason,
Yeah.
did you all say anything to any of those people? Did you just put your head down and keep walking? Did you put in headphones?
Head,
What happened?
head down. Walking back to that sign where we took the back, where we made the wrong turn. We wasn't far when we was at that point, so I knew we was like, 5 minute walk away and everything. I had fun, I was
I
enjoying it.
did
It was my
too.
fourth day out there, and I knew it was going to be a beautiful night. Only thing I was worried about is that campsite. I thought, because this place where we was going was like Indian Staircase in Red River Gorge. You got multiple campsites all over the place. You got vistas, so you got a lot of beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
Greetings
Yeah,
from
it's
yeah, I totally
Tennessee.
agree.
it
Michael
is
Hall lives in
beautiful
Big
down
South
there, man.
Port.
Hey, did you see who just said
Oh, yeah.
hi?
Jacob
The Porter
Poucher. Hey,
The
Privy.
Jacob.
Porta
And
Privy.
Doc. Hey, Porter Privy. Hey.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
if anybody's on there, they've seen Angel Falls Overlook. This was probably the best view I've ever seen of it. We have still, the leaves hasn't started popping out there yet. And I could see the falls. I could see that whole area, the river. What a beautiful, beautiful spot. And we had it for the sunset and sunrise. We had it for all that. And that was my fourth and fifth day. I was just like, what a way to top it off right there. I was just like, yeah, man.
And
I was happy.
it seemed like you were scouting out your next kayaking adventure to maybe go out there and break a leg. Because
Oh, what? That was cold.
what?
That was
What?
cold.
Well, Jason, John already mentioned as you were coming on the show, you broke your ankle whenever we were kayaking on a trip up there. And dude, how many miles upriver was that for the kayaking trip? It wasn't very far from where we were at.
All the trips maybe like 20 some miles. So maybe we was, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not
It's
sure.
not too far, is my point. And on
Yeah.
the way back, as we were walking to the vehicle, my truck was parked at Leatherwood Ford, and Jason and his buddies, they're big time into the kayaking, like basically backpacking style, but kayaking. So they do overnight and set up their hammocks and tents and pull off on the river and just camp out and then get back in there and keep going the next day for multiple days. And it sounded to me like they were ready to hit Angel Falls, which is a set of rapids that Jason said multiple people have died while they were kayaking through there.
Yes, you know, I'm not into that one. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to go
Well,
over Angel Falls. I mean, what I see, 300 feet up in the air or 200, I was like, wow, that's pretty powerful. Now, when I got to a signal, the CFS was 5,120. I usually do around 600. So that'd be a lot different, but it's still very dangerous. It's very technical. I hit Devil's Jump. I'll hit Washing Machine. I'll hit Chicken Foot. I'll hit other ones out there. But the Angel Falls, I usually stay away from. And it's a pretty area, but you do a lot of paddling from one end to like where I like to go. So I don't know if I'll go down there, but I bet Scott will. Scott's our daredevil. And if he goes, I usually go right behind him.
Well, and what was fun for me this week is we've got a guy that I work with who he was telling me how much he loves going to the Big South Fork and canoeing. Says the most beautiful water. He said it's the clearest water, it's the
Yes.
cleanest water. And then he said, you
Yep.
got to watch this video of this one guy and his buddies doing this. And I was like, okay, yeah, let me watch it. And all of a sudden he pulls it up, and who do I see in this video? It's you. And I go, I just start laughing. He goes, what's so funny? I said, dude, that's a good friend of mine. Like, I know that guy really well. He's like, really? I was like, I have hiked so many miles with that guy. I know who he is. And
Yes,
so
yes.
I remember taking a picture of us watching the video and sending it to you. And
I didn't know it was like that. I thought you was just saying we're watching a video.
no,
you
he pulled the
showing us
video up
something.
to show me. And so I thought
Oh,
that was
cool.
awesome. So I was like, I got to show this to Jason.
It's a great trip, and I've got quite a few videos of doing it. And I suggest to anybody, if you're kind of a seasoned kayaker like camping, you'll enjoy this trip. And I'd say CFS 600 to 300, and go ahead if you think you went through all the other rapids, go ahead and hit Devil's Jump. If you foul out, it just spits you out, and at the end, you really don't have too much danger except regular danger. But I mean, it just spits you out. The end. Angel Falls has rocks that'll trap you in there. And that's the part that scares me. There's rocks that can hit you and trap you where you can't get out, and that's the part that worries me.
Yeah,
on that.
Jason,
Devil's
before
Jump, just go.
we're getting later in the show, and I want to find out something
Yes,
from you. We've got this poll going
go
on,
for it.
the Final
Yeah,
Four poll, and what I'm gonna do
yeah,
is I'm gonna bring up the shoes because I have gone in
yeah,
and put in our current Final Four:
yeah.
Solomon,
Do I have
Topo,
to
Altra,
choose
and
from that?
Merrill. What's that?
Do I have to choose from that, or
From
can
those,
I
you have to
just say
choose
my
one for
bracket?
each of those. You got to pick one for each of those. So Solomon versus Topo, who would you take?
Solomon,
Solomon, and who would you take for Altra versus Merrill?
Ultra.
Altra. So we've got Altra and Solomon for you. Jeremiah,
Yep.
who are you picking?
I'm going to have to go with the same picks.
I'm going to be a little
Yeah.
different. I'm going to go I can't go Solomon because I can't even wear the shoes. They're too thin for me. Like my feet are too wide for Solomon's. So I'm gonna have to go Topo. And honestly, man, I'm gonna go Merrill's because Ultra's destroyed my feet.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go
Oh
a
my
different route than
goodness.
you guys on that one. So
That,
we've
you know
got
what
3
that's.
sets of votes in right now. It's
You know what that smells like? That smells like an Ohio vote. There's 2 Kentucky votes the same. It smelled like an Ohio vote.
man, I don't know. I've lived in
Different
Kentucky for
of it.
30 years, man. I don't know. I think I'm more Kentucky than I
You
am
might be
Ohio
a
at this point.
Kentuckian.
I just
You
like
got
the
the
Ohio
blue. You got
sports
the
teams
blue
better.
eye.
That's all.
Well,
So
let me say one thing about
Okay.
Ohio sports teams real quick. Ohio
Yeah.
State, I know John's a big Ohio State football guy. Basketball, not so much. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, stating on the record, Ohio State whipped our butts in basketball this season, and had Aaron Bradshaw, which is a former player for us, and did not make the tournament. I don't know what
No.
that says about us, but
I
Ohio
know what it
State,
says about Ohio State. We're awful.
what's it say?
We're awful. I've
Well,
been
it
telling
says
everybody who's up
Kentucky.
here because everybody I work with is a UK fan, right? Everybody I work with
Mhm.
is a UK fan,
Hey,
and
yeah.
I flat out I told every one of them 9 out of 10 times Ohio State doesn't win that game. The stars were aligned. Jupiter was in the correct orbit. The tides were the way they were supposed to be. The moon was a certain distance from the
Yeah.
Earth. All the weirdness that could have possibly happened on that one night, and Ohio State pulled off something they should not have. And I won't deny that. I'm a huge Ohio State fan, but I'm not by any stretch going, yeah, we beat you guys. Her. No, not doing that. Not doing that. We are terrible at
Yeah.
basketball.
Kentucky's still dancing. I mean, they're
Yes, you are.
16.
Yes, you
Who's
are.
in the house tonight? UK. Who's in the house tonight? UK.
Now, I am
Who's
going to
in the
say,
house
man,
tonight?
I'm going to say something here. There's some votes coming in for
Yeah.
Merrill's. Just putting it out there, man. I'm seeing Solomon and Merrill. I'm seeing Topo and
I
Merrill.
figured Merrill would get a lot of votes. Merrill's
Yeah,
been a
I'm
good
seeing
company
Topo and
around for a
Merrill
long
again.
time.
I
Yeah.
can't doubt on those Merrills, man. Everybody owns a pair of Merrills. I think everybody who's hiked
How did
over any amount of years probably has at least one pair of Merrills.
Hoka not get in there?
We can't
that-
manipulate votes.
Yeah,
I
that's my
mean,
favorite.
I,
Doesn't mean that
Hokas
everybody
are my
likes it.
favorites.
Fishies going on here. I mean, yeah, my favorite. I
Yep.
mean, just saying how this vote, who voted this? I smell conspiracy. What else am I smelling? I'm smelling conspiracy. Comment section. What are you smelling?
Hey,
I
if
see.
it was up to us, it would have been Hoka. So there's no conspiracy on our end. So
Okay.
that just proves that we stay above board. Like we don't play favorites on the Backpacking Podcast.
So
That's right.
yeah. Next
So-
year you should maybe do backpacks or something, for the tournament
Oh,
time.
dude,
Or food.
I got so many.
Food.
Here,
I think
Here,
the
Jason,
food
you-
one. I think the food one could be really fun.
Yes.
Jason,
Food
can you
would
give
be
me
really good. Yes.
give me real quick picks on backpacks? I'm going to read some off to you. You tell me, all right?
Do you want me to pull these up on the
Rapid
screen if I
fire.
can?
Yeah, sure, you
Let
can.
me
We'll
see-
rapid
let me see if I can
fire it.
find these real quick.
Okay.
Yep.
Osprey Atmos, which is the Osprey I have, or the Gossamer Gear. Basically, they're 65
Osprey.
liter.
Osprey.
Osprey. All right.
Yeah.
Granite Gear 60 liter or Hyperlight, same one I got.
Hyperlight, the one I got.
That's the same one I have, the 3400. That's a really good
Yours is
backpack.
made in Mexico. Mine is made in USA.
That is
You know
true.
this.
Mine says it says made in Mexico right on the tag. The Gregory 65 liter or the REI 55 liter.
REI.
REI. That's a budget deal.
Ooh.
The Co-op Flash 55. The Arc'teryx 50 liter or the Deuter 50 plus liter.
Arc'teryx.
Ooh, you're going
Arc'teryx.
for the BMW Mercedes version.
Yeah, he's a high roller. All right. Well, that leaves Osprey versus
Yeah.
Hyperlight. Who's going to the finals?
Osprey
Come on,
versus
go ahead, say it.
Hyperlight. Osprey versus
Yeah, which
Hyperlight.
one?
Hyperlight.
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 And are they facing REI or Arc'teryx?
Arc.
Arc. All right. In the finals, your final pick, Hyperlights, or they're probably actually the same price, really, because Hyperlight, those are pretty expensive too. Hyperlight or your Arc'teryx?
Hyperlight.
Hyperlight is the winner.
I'm
That's
not
what I took
surprised
on
by
this
this. Here's what's blowing my mind about this bracket.
Yes.
No Outdoor Vitals.
Yes.
No Z packs. Probably my
Mhm.
two
No
favorite
Hilltop
brands for
packs.
backpacks. No Hilltop packs.
No Hilltop packs.
Hmm.
Those are some.
Maybe-
I don't know about
What
this.
do you think about this,
poll.
Jason? What do you think about this list that was put together?
It was a rapid fire list. Okay.
Look-
it
look-
had
look at this right
time,
here, look at this right
pretty
here.
Quick.
None of these are true backpacker backpacks.
Oh, no, that's
Ooh.
not
Hold
true.
up, hold up.
That was,
Derwin off the
that's not
rails.
true.
The Arc Hall beats them all. I gotta say that me, I'm
Now,
an
listen
Arc
here,
Hall guy
daggone
myself.
it. The Hyperlight is what I said. The Hyperlight is the winner.
I'm just
We will not
saying.
have
I'm
no
just
sassing.
saying.
We will have no sassing in the comment section.
Oh no! Wait! There's
Jonathan,
more.
these are
What
true
about the
backpacks.
Outdoor Vitals CS40?
That's another great
Hey,
one.
This
That's
backpack
a
right here,
good one.
boys. This backpack. This is gonna be my backpack this year.
The
Just
40
saying.
liter.
That
No, the
what's that one
CS40.
you have, Jeremiah?
It's not a 40
Shadow
liter.
Light?
Oh, okay.
The CS40 is a material.
What'd you say, Jason?
I didn't see any chicken tramper up there either.
Yeah, no chicken tramper. Oh
Yeah, well,
man,
It was my input.
Mm.
That's like a
ChatGPT.
local favorite.
I think we're gonna have to create a new one. I think we're gonna have to create a new one,
The backpack
and we're
Yeah,
gonna
you
create
could
one that we
also-
can like update online next week. And we're gonna change this one up. We're gonna do the backpacks next week. Except next week, here's my opinion.
Yes.
This is my thought. We can do whatever we want with it.
Yes.
I say we do it, and we do a live vote in our next live stream. Okay, and we
Yes.
will vote for 5 minutes on each one. Let's make this a competition.
Alright.
We're gonna vote 5 minutes on each
Or let
one.
it go on the
Whoever gets
show.
the most
You
votes in
have
those
to win
5
at the end of the
minutes,
show.
they will get
Yeah.
to put it live. You will see the winners of each round live, and by the end of the night, we will have a backpack winner for the backpack
There you go.
tournament.
That sounds like a great
This is the
great
best.
idea. You
So if you want your voice heard,
You gotta
if you
vote.
want your voice
You
heard,
gotta vote.
you have to vote.
For the hyperlight. The hyperlight, the hyperlight, the hyperlight.
I'm not even putting out,
man.
we're not even going to put them on there. What do you think about that?
They're the winners.
They
They're
win.
like the
They
running
win.
team right now.
They
You
win
just
the
take
first
winner
pool.
out there.
They don't even get a
I'm gonna turn
seat.
me to Dan Hurley. I'm gonna act like he and Dan Hurley here in a second.
Yeah, he's about
Hyperlight.
to yeah, I hope they don't screw you like they did us. Oh
Yeah,
man.
it's a hyperlight. Even though they make everything in Mexico now, daggone it. I want to support that company with their backpack, but I can't because, it's not USA. And I want everything to be USA. So, yeah.
Well,
And I have to take it back. It is a 40-liter pack. I said it wasn't, but it is. But I'm going to tell you it's as big as the Z-Packs Arc Haul because I've got both of them. And they're the same size. And the Arc Haul says it's 60 liters. So both of them are lying because they have to be meeting in the middle somewhere.
he's just saying that because they sponsored the show.
You're the one who's trying to get us to lose our sponsorship, Jeremiah. What are you talking about?
Oh there's no price on integrity, baby. There's no price. We'll edit that part out. We'll edit that part out. Go ahead, Jason.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry. I keep cutting you off. That's my bad.
Derwin off the rail said it's one pack to rule them all. One pack to rule them all.
That's funny.
Oh, and then J3 Hike says no light AF. Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, that could definitely
we will do what we will do. This will be the non-mainstream ultralight backpack challenge. So this you can't be Osprey or Deuter or Gregory or any of those companies. This is your true
Local
ultralight backpacks. ULA probably needs to be in there. There's probably several other packs that need to be in there.
I've got a ULA pack.
I do too. I love my ULA. So I used a ULA for 2 years. Wore that thing out and it's still good to go.
I did like 400 miles on the AT with mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great pack.
Yeah, I love that pack. It's, very lightweight.
That's
very
Shug's go-to.
Hey, I do remember what I was going to ask you. Before I get off here, John Kelly, who you got for the basketball? Just wondering.
Well, you can't spell Duke without UK, so it's Duke.
Oh,
I picked Duke.
Once again, what do I smell? I smell Ohio.
That's a North Carolina school. How is that an Ohio pick?
Because a person from Kentucky wouldn't pick Duke. Jeremiah, what's your pick?
Can I tell you something? Well, I have a lot of friends who are from Kentucky that pick Duke because they want to win the bracket.
I got
win it. Yeah, but
I got Florida beating UK in the national title.
Of course you do. Because you're an SEC homer.
Well, we already beat them. We already beat Duke too, by the way, John. I don't know if you know this.
Well, and Ohio State beat Kentucky, and I told you how much that means. So,
hey, where's the censor button out here? We need to bleep.
And you got to beat and you got to beat Tennessee 3 times. Is that going to happen?
Yeah, why not?
We'll see what happens about that.
I'm happy we got Sweet 16. I mean, I got them going. I think we're going to win the whole thing.
Who's that?
Kentucky.
Yeah,
going to win the whole thing. Kentucky.
Of course you do.
Purdue beat Houston. We're going to beat Tennessee. We'll beat Purdue. We'll be in the Final Four. And then whoever's there is there.
Auburn.
We're going to win.
Auburn's they're waiting.
Auburn's
Jason,
we'll win.
I guess we'll wrap with this. Did you win the game, the Don't Poop in the Woods game, while you're out in the woods for 5 days straight? Or did you lose the game?
I do not play your childish games and try not to poop in the woods. I enjoy my poop in the woods. I love
that.
My poop
but
in the
with
woods.
Jason, it's not the poop in the woods. It's the morning constitutional.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched enough Jason videos. I watched enough Jason videos to know what that is called in the mornings.
And Jeremiah, to be honest, I went about 100 feet behind your hammock, and I stayed in a tree right behind there and pooped right there.
Oh
Do you
my
really want to
goodness.
know?
I knew I was
It's a
smelling
set.
something.
Oh man.
my buddy Sean, this was like 10 o'clock at night, and Scott said, "What's he doing?" He was way, way, way down. We was way off trail anyway. His way down there, and his light was shining. He's kind of like in the creek, and we was like, "I wonder if he's okay." And Sean's like, "Sean, you okay?" Sean's like, "I'm trying to take a poop." Huh? I was like, I was scared to get out of the creek, and he was like, "I'm not in the creek." I was like, "It looks like you're in the creek," because he had his head like, look, Jason gets it. That's
Yep.
right. The Porter Privy knows. That's right.
Yep.
The best
Yep.
time you can take a poop, man, is either like the morning time when it's like, birds are chirping and you see the sun coming up over the mountain, or if you have a view or you're right close to like a water area or something.
Oh yeah.
And,
Now, Jason,
it's nice
let
to
me
have
ask you a
poop
question.
with a view.
Jason,
Yes.
let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Was not one of the greatest parts of hiking up on Pictured Rocks the bathroom area?
I told my buddy Matt about that.
Is that not
Yes,
the
you have a
best? That
toilet.
was one. Like,
Yeah.
I actually looked forward to my morning poop. I looked forward
It's
to
kind
it.
of weird because there's no like walls around you, like a
No.
privy or anything, but it's a toilet that you just sit on in the woods.
And nobody will see you because of where they
And
put them. They've got them on these hills, and when
yeah,
you're at the campsite, everybody knows who's up there, so you don't go up.
yeah,
And you're literally sitting on a toilet in the middle of a field with the
yes.
view and the nature around you. And man, I've never enjoyed the number 2 in the woods like I did on that trip.
And it was a beautiful morning. Every day we had great weather at Pictured Rocks, which was pretty incredible. But yes, the pooping in the woods that was probably top notch on that.
Top
Yeah,
notch.
Well,
Yeah.
did
top
Matt,
notch.
was he able to escape without pooping?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. He's
Yeah,
big on not pooping in the woods. Big,
yes,
big.
big time.
Yeah.
Like he changed his cold coffee habit. Like he won't have coffee on the trail to not poop in the woods.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
eating.
Essential.
Yeah, yeah. He says he
Mm.
likes but his toilet, his house is heated. He has another toilet with a bidet. He has a lot, and his toilet's just not heated. Like you can set dials to where how you want your temperature set in there on that toilet.
So he does the
So
bougie poo.
yes,
He's got a bougie. He's a bougie
bougie
pooer.
poo.
Like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah, yeah.
look
And
out.
it's his. Like he want to have his bathroom, not him and his wife or kids. His bathroom. Matt's awesome though. He's a guy that when you go backpacking, you're like, I don't have to worry about him. I know he'll be okay. And those are people you want to backpack with, the ones you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be all right. And
100%.
Jeremiah, he wasn't with me on that one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. I think we've unpacked Jason a little bit, got to hear a little bit about his JMT experience. It's basically like 50 to 60 miles through the Big South Fork of Tennessee, and you've knocked out quite a bit of it.
Yeah, it's a 53-mile section in the Big South Fork, JMT. If you go to the outrageous mapping, Sheltoe, it'll have all that on there and everything like that. And and if you want to check out him videos or anything on YouTube, Backpacking with Jason, and I'm on TikTok, Instagram, not
All
Facebook
the things.
though.
All the things.
John,
Yeah.
I dropped Jason off at his vehicle, and where it was parked was, you remember when you and I met and switched backpacks and
Yeah.
went backpacked in and camped for that night? Yep, that's
Where I was.
exactly where Jason's vehicle was. I would tell you, man, that part of the trail is absolutely gorgeous, but I think I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure you got to see most of it doing that hidden passage trail, because
Yeah.
there's like a big
I did.
railroad tunnel and stuff through there. So you've actually
Yeah,
already hiked that section, but
we went
that
right
brought
through
back
the tunnel.
good memories.
Yeah, that was a great day because, Jeremiah was really kind with what he packed and giving me 2 tents
I
just to make
remember
sure I
that
had a
video.
choice. That was really nice of him to have a backpack with 2 tents in it. And one of them
I
was a
do remember
3-person, like
that.
7-pound tent. Like that was very kind of Jeremiah on that trip. I remember that very well.
variety is the spice of life.
It is,
So.
it is, it is, and I appreciated it more than you know. So, Jason, thanks so much for being on, man. Always, you are like our favorite guest. You know that, so we
Family.
don't have to tell you that.
Y'all
So,
family.
thank you for tuning
Thank you.
in and being on here with us, Jason. We appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
So, never a dull moment when you have Jason on the live stream.
Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir. Y'all got to check out his YouTube channel, Backpacking with Jason. He's putting out also on X. I don't think he mentioned that, but he puts out some great stuff on X. If you're, and I don't even know what you call us people on X, Xers,
Sure.
TikTok,
I mean, he's a Gen
Instagram.
Xer, so it makes sense.
Absolutely. Check out all of his stuff. Backpacking with Jason is the handle.
And just as a heads up again, the current standings are Solomon versus Topo and Altra versus Merrill for our final four for the best shoes for backpacking for 2025. Make sure you guys get your votes in for that in the comments on Spotify, on YouTube, in personal messages. Jeremiah's phone number is 555-732-9725. Give him a call and let him know which ones you like. Text him. Obviously, that's a made-up phone number. But let us know what you guys want to vote for, and we will find out next week who is going to be in the championship round of backpacking shoes for the backcountry. Jeremiah?
Yeah, it
awesome,
sounds like
man.
John is going to have a well put together bracket for you all to do a one-time show vote live.
Yes.
In the flesh, so make sure you tune in for the next
Yes.
live stream here on the Backpacking Podcast.
That's right. We are going full on production quality next week. We've been a little behind on a few things recently, but we're gonna get that one back. And also, like we said earlier, these live streams just kind of watch. We don't know. Most times they're gonna be on Wednesdays at 4. But like this week, we needed to get it in this week at this time because there were some other things going on that changed up our schedule a little bit. So definitely stay tuned in, and we will catch you guys on the next one.